Hi, I'm Hub Arkush, along with Associate Editor Kevin Fishbane, here with one of our series of NFL team training camp opening reports. We want to focus on the Buffalo Bills in this report. And Kevin, when you look at the key free agent moves during the offseason, the big draft picks, everybody knows Mario Williams is a big deal. You know, Stephon Gilmore is a big deal. Who are the key acquisitions to watch most closely in camp?
Well, Williams along with Mark Anderson are the two key guys, because they are there to help the pass rush, something that really hasn't been in Buffalo in a while, and really their biggest Achilles heel last season. So those two guys are going to be, all the eyes are going to be on them. And as you mentioned, Stephon Gilmore, but I think a lot of people are going to be focused on Cordy, their second-round pick, who's expected to start at left tackle. Obviously a very important position to keep the Bills' offensive line protected Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, and that's the key, I think, with Gilmore and Glenn. These are two rookies counted on to start, not just to make a contribution.
Yeah, absolutely. Gilmore starting at corner, Glenn starting at left tackle. You don't draft guys that high and expect them to not contribute, but those guys are going to contribute right away.
All right, in training camp, of course, the place to fix what was broken last year. On the offensive side of the football, where do you expect the Buffalo Bills to be focused in training camp?
Well, that passing game got very inconsistent by the end of the season. A lot of that goes to Ryan Fitzpatrick. He just struggled after he got that contract extension. They bring in David Lee, the quarterback's coach, going to work with him on some mechanics. They're hoping that he is able to be the way he was at the beginning of last season when the Bills were playing very well throughout the year. They got to give him another weapon, though. They have to find a number 2 receiver in training camp, whether it's Donald Jones, Marcus Easley, their third-round pick, T.J. Graham. Someone has to step up and provide another weapon for Ryan Fitzpatrick to go to when teams cover up Stevie Johnson.
All right, defensively, I think the Bills tip their hand a little bit. You go sign Mario Williams and Mark Anderson in free agency. You know what they're trying to do to get better. How will they approach that in training camp as far as fixing the pass rush and other parts of the defense?
Well, the 4-3 defense with Dave Wannstedt is going to be a big part of that. Obviously, it's a very aggressive look that Wannstedt's going to bring in, and you bring a guy with such great defensive coordinator resume like Wannstedt. I think that's going to make it help right away. It makes it easier. Guys like Chris Kelsay back at defensive end. I think that's going to be something to watch. And pass coverage, the corners really are going to be key. When you play the Patriots twice a year, you need to have good lockdown corners. Stephon Gilmore, Aaron Williams, second-year player, Leotis McKelvin, they're hoping he can kind of return to what he was earlier in his career, because those corners really need to do a better job than they did last season.
Young players on the club last year, offensively and defensively, maybe even veterans who can make more of an impact. Who figures to be the difference makers from last year's club?
A pair of second-year guys, Aaron Williams and Kelvin Shepard. They really like Aaron Williams. They're hoping he can be the starting cornerback on the outside for a long time. He missed part of last year with an injury, but when he did play, he looked pretty good. And Kelvin Shepard, they've talked about the linebackers a lot this offseason, and they talk about some position battles. They always say our middle linebacker, our starting middle linebacker is Kelvin Shepard. He came on strong last year. They're really excited about what he's going to be able to do in the middle of that defense.
Veteran players on the bubble, always a couple to watch in camp.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Tyler Thigpen's the guy. They brought in Vince Young to be the backup quarterback, so that kind of bumps Thigpen out. A couple defensive linemen, Terrell Troop, Dwan Edwards, kind of see how they adapt to the new 4-3 defense. We'll see if there's enough room for it.
Well, that's going to do it for this report on the Buffalo Bills training camp opening. For reports on all 32 teams, as well as all the latest in Way We Hear It, news, notes, and analysis, stay right here at ProFootballWeekly.com, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.